What in the world is the IDF doing near Syria? Well, it is our job to protect the state of Israel, and our troops have now been deployed in the area of separation between Israel and Syria. Deployed to protect Israel, that is, not to interfere in any way with the conflict happening in Syria. But to understand why this is a zone of interest, we have to go back to the War of Independence. In May of 1948, the armies of 6 different Arab nations, among them Syria, attacked the Jewish state. After a grueling year of war, multiple ceasefire agreements were signed, including with Syria. Civilians in northern Israel were subjected to continuous attacks after multiple violations of the ceasefire by Syrian forces after this war. This war and the aftermath still left territorial disputes in the region, and this brings us to the next 2 wars that occurred within the next 10 years. War number 1, the Six-Day War in 1967. During the Syrian attack in this war, Israel took over the Golan Heights. War number 2, the Yom Kippur War, on October 6, 1973.
It is an all-out war. That's how Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Dayan describes an invasion of the Golan Heights and the east bank of the Suez by Syria and Egypt.
Syria and Egypt launched a coordinated surprise attack on Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. During the 3-week-long war, Israel countered the Syrian attack and managed to retain its positions in the Golan Heights. The outcome of this war would lead to one of the most critical moments in the Israel-Syria relations, the establishment of UNDOF. The US and the USSR brokered a ceasefire agreement called the Israeli-Syrian Agreement on Disengagement, which was signed by both on May 31, 1974, and was ratified and adopted by the UN Security Council in UNSC Resolution 350. This established UNDOF, the United Nations Disengagement Observer Force, and their operational zone known as the AOS, Area of Separation, which looks like this: the Alpha line on the Israeli side and the Bravo line on the Syrian side. And this will take us to the deadliest attack launched on Jews since the Holocaust, the October 7 massacre. As Hezbollah joined Hamas in their deadly attack by indiscriminately firing rockets on October 8th, IDF troops in the north were reinforced on the Alpha Line and within the area of separation after an escalation of threats in the northern front to ensure that no threats would cross from Syria into Israeli territory. Israeli civilians face threats on multiple fronts, and wherever the threats lie, we will defend ourselves.